From Andrew Golata's strange performances to Fan Man landing a parachute in the middle of the ring, Oliver McCall's non-action against Lennox Lewis was the strangest thing to have happened in a heavyweight boxing fight. Before we begin, do not forget to subscribe and press the bell button to stay connected to the boxing world. Your comments encourage us to create more content. Let's dive in. February 7th, 1997. Oliver McCall and Lennox Lewis squared off in the ring for the second time, competing for the vacant WBC heavyweight title.
Well, it sure looks like he wants to fight.
Well, he decided not to make Lewis wait after all, as he runs into the ring with his various entourage members trailing behind.
The first two rounds went normal, with Lennox having a slightly better performance.
Lewis, and he just misses an uppercut that might have done even more damage.
In the third round, McCall appeared to have stopped defending himself. He simply stopped throwing punches against Lewis, who he dropped in their first match, resulting in Lewis getting up on rubbery legs and the referee stopping the fight. He did move around to avoid getting any serious injury, but he did not fight back. Lewis was as confused as everyone else, but did not jump on the opportunity.
Right hands from over the top behind the jab.
Now Lewis, if he wants, he can just do that later on. They wear down.
Good combination by Lewis. Left hook and a right, Oliver McCall.
That's what you want your fighter to do. Win every round. If a knockout comes, good.
Very strange thing here, folks.
He's walking around.
He's wandering around the ring. He hasn't gone to his corner.
McCall, also known as the Atomic Bull, refused to return and sit in the corner between the rounds. George Benton, in his corner, was not impressed by his fighter's bizarre attitude. Former Mike Tyson sparring partner, McCall kept on wandering around the ring aimlessly in between the rounds without defending himself when the fight resumed, even though the heavyweight championship was on the line.
He doesn't have to sit down. You don't sit down, for example. But you are supposed to stay in the corner. You can't wander out into the middle of the ring. The referee should have definitely got it back to a corner.
Oliver McCall threw a total of 15 punches, according to our punch stat numbers in round number 3. And here he takes a hard right hand to begin the fourth. So whether McCall is disgusted with himself, his corner, the referee, Lennox Lewis, the whole occupation of boxing, who knows? Lewis seems unsure what to do as McCall occasionally looks away from him and invites him to attack. This is a bizarre scene. Bizarre scene. What should Lewis do, George?
Well, you got to stay within the rules. Don't break any rules by hitting your guy behind the back or something like that. Then you can get yourself in trouble.
It looks like he's quitting, and I'm surprised that Mills Lane, in his 19th heavyweight championship fight, hasn't gone over and said something to him about, you got to fight. Oliver, you got to fight. That's what Mills should be saying to him, because he's not doing anything. This is one of the strangest things I've ever seen in a championship fight.
Well, on Tuesday of this week,
he's shaking his head at George as if to say, there's something wrong, I got nothing here. Unless he's playing the greatest game of possum I ever saw.
Referee Mills Lane had to call a timeout during the fourth round to ask McCall if he was okay. McCall confirmed he wished to continue, but it was obvious his mind was not in it anymore, and he was mentally not fit to continue.
Punches at a sitting duck here.
I don't know if the referee should let a fight like this go on. I mean, this is not what audience.
Yeah, now Mills Lane is going to call time and have a conversation with McCall. McCall has thrown one punch in the round. This is a bizarre display. I personally have never seen anything like it. He's not even looking at Lewis as he walks away.
As far as you know.
All right, let's go to Larry Merchant, who's with George Benton in McCall's corner. Larry?
This man's mind is gone.
George, you're saying that you think he snapped in there?
Well, you're watching it. You ever seen anything like this in your life?
Never. Did you see any sign of anything wrong with him during training?
No, never.
Did you see any sign of anything in the dressing room before the fight?
Nothing.
Do you think the referee should stop this fight because he's not fighting back?
I'm in this man's corner. I won't voice no opinion on that. But you see this man, he's still there. All he's got to do is fight.
Thank you, George.
McCall's been talking religion this week, saying that he has found God in his life. That's his new mechanism for attempting to deal with all the problems that have haunted him in the past. Tuesday, he told a group of boxing writers, I'm going to retire after this fight. It's not godly to train for a long period of time to go out and try to hurt another man. Then Wednesday, at a pre-fight news conference, he said, no, I'm not going to retire. I will keep fighting after I win the championship. But something interferes with Oliver McCall's motivation as round 4 closes here.
Jim, I think this fight should be stopped right now.
After the round, McCall was seen weeping.
I mean, this is a farce. What is the old saying? The first time is tragedy. The second time is farce. There's something wrong with Oliver McCall. He's near tears now. He doesn't really want to fight. He's crying in his corner. I've never seen anything like this. He's overwhelmed with some sort of emotion.
Don't do this to yourself. Don't do this to yourself, man. Come on, take some water. Come here.
He doesn't want to fight.
Come on, sit down, man. Sit down.
Oliver, sit down. Now, you want to fight? Huh? You don't want to fight?
Yeah, you want to fight. Come on.
Seconds out. Come on.
You can win this fight.
Take his boy out here. Come on. Hey, man. Come on and fight this stuff. This is for your daughter, man. Take this guy out here.
You heard Mills Lane say, do you want to fight? Reluctantly, it seems, he said yes, but it doesn't show on his face.
McCall's share of tonight's purse amounts to close to $3 million.
If I was in the commission here, I would hold that purse up. This is a disgrace.
In the 5th round, Mills Lane stopped the fight after seeing McCall repeating the same behavior. Lewis was declared the winner.
Crises, Oliver McCall is having one right now before the eyes of the world, and it's placed Lennox Lewis in an awfully difficult and awkward position. Lewis doing what he has to do.
This isn't right.
You wonder how much longer Mills Lane will allow this to go on, and that's going to be it.
Well, I've seen some strange things in boxing. That is surely one of the strangest.
With a whimper, not a bang, Lennox Lewis has just become the WBC World Heavyweight Champion for the 2nd time in his career. Mark Ratner, Executive Director of the Nevada State Athletic Commission, joins us.
Lewis later explained that he thought his opponent was trying to lull him into some kind of trap by playing mind games. McCall did not give any interview and chose to walk straight back to the dressing room.
We'll have a full investigation, but he will not get paid tonight.
It looked like McCall had a meltdown in the middle of the fight. McCall later defended his stance for 40 minutes in front of the press. He even tried to compare his viewpoint as being similar to the rope-a-dope strategy of Muhammad Ali against George Foreman. He said he did not quit and he came to win. He even explained he wanted to get himself into an emotional state by crying. Some psychologists called it a nervous breakdown. Later, it was proven right when McCall's wife took out an emergency custody order against him. McCall was taken to a mental hospital. His documents said that he presented an imminent danger to himself or others as a result of a mental illness or was seriously mentally ill to not care for himself. McCall has a well-known history of alcohol and drug use. He was arrested in Nashville on charges of vandalism, disorderly conduct, and attempt to resist arrest after a quarrel in a hotel bar where he reportedly threw a Christmas tree in the hotel lobby. He was also arrested multiple times for the possession of drugs. It was McCall's 35th professional bout when he had the meltdown. McCall is still fighting now and thinks he could be the oldest boxing champion ever. Boxing is a tough sport, but professional boxers at this level can handle all sorts of pressure. McCall's bizarre attitude in the middle of the fight was a surprise for everyone. What do you think of Oliver McCall's behavior? Share your thoughts by writing in the comment section below. Like and subscribe to see more from the boxing world.